Candace Owens, and I have to break the silence on that. She has been threatening my life. She's been threatening my life. I've been trying to be quiet and silent about this, but at this point, I just can't let it go on anymore. Candace has been harassing me. She's been threatening to unalive me, and I can't hold back. Last night, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very, very serious matter to talk with you about. Candace Owens, and I have to break the silence on that. She has been threatening my life. She's been threatening my life. I've been trying to be quiet and silent about this, but at this point, I just can't let it go on anymore. Candace has been harassing me. She's been threatening to unalive me, and I can't hold back. Last night was really the last night that I could take this. I was at home and I noticed, as I looked up, I saw a plane. And when I saw that plane, it said Cairo Airlines on it. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why would Cairo Airlines be flying over my house at this time of night? So I started to think, and I started to see the deeper messages behind it. Cairo starts with a C that ends with an O. And I started to think that maybe CO, what is CO? And it hit me instantly. Candace Owens, and I felt as if she was spying on me. And then airlines, she's after me. And I started to see all of this, and I put two and two together, and I can't say for definite that I know or that I know, but I know that I know. And I know something else. If you believe something like that, then you are a nut. And you're just as nutty as everybody who follows and listens to everything that she has to say. But you know what? Once you have the number one platform, our podcast, you can say whatever you want and people will believe you. And unfortunately, that's what's been going on with Candace Owens, you guys. Obviously, I'm saying all that I said at the beginning as a joke. And that's obvious for, people with the right mind, people that are, sensible individuals know that what I just was saying was completely outrageous and outlandish. But, with her, she can say whatever she wants. And not only that, she can move the goalposts whenever she wants. And she can make up whatever she wants. And people would just believe it. Believe it. Here's a tweet from Candace, okay? She says that the worldwide Zionist mafia has explicitly and implicitly threatening me. They've been threatening her and Tucker Carlson for almost a year now. The entire world is tuning in and is aware that this is happening. Why is our government allowing it? Right? So the obvious question has to be asked here. Where are the receipts, Candace? How are they threatening you? Show us the emails. Show us the videotapes. Show us something to let us know that they've been threatening you. I mean, and what does it have to do with anything? How are they threatening you? And it's because things like this that are so huge, fantastic claims have to have fantastic evidence. And this is a crazy and preposterous idea, but she does it anyway. Candace again on a show, unfortunately, and I'm sorry to keep covering her, and I'm sorry you have to keep seeing her, but if we don't call it out, then it will continue. This is Candace moving the goalposts once again.
It was after the public execution of sitting President JFK in 1963 that the CIA established Operation Mockingbird. Deep state assassinations require deep state solutions. They spent an offensive amount of money to control the press and to control the narrative, to put an end to the public asking common sense questions about what actually transpired on that fateful day in Dallas. To put it simply, the deep state declared a psychological warfare campaign on the people. In effect, their soldiers were the journalists and the writers, their goal obviously to get people to just stop asking questions, to almost criminalize asking questions via methods of gaslighting. Fast forward to 2025, and they're running the exact same playbook.
If you want to ask questions, ask good ones. Just ask good questions, right? And when you're asking a question, actually be asking a question. Don't insinuate things. Just ask the question. Or even if you want to imply something, that's totally fine. But be able to back up what it is that you're implying. We have watched this series go on. Those of you who have actually watched it, those of us on the outside fringe just waiting for the highlights of these clips to come out. Now, we have watched her move the goalposts over and over again. What happened to Brigitte Macron? What happened? Candace, what happened? I thought you weren't going to stop until you cracked the egg. all type of. I mean, and she just is trying to, I guess, to some degree, get herself into these situations where she gets into a lawsuit, and I. And it may happen soon here. I don't know what's going to happen. TPUSA, Erica, all these guys are very big on free speech. I don't think, at some point this is free speech. And keep watching this because you're going to hear the head of Charlie Kirk's security talk about free speech and the difference between that and what Candace is doing. So please keep watching. But Candace here is insinuating that you're not allowed to ask questions, and it's not the truth. We're always allowed to ask questions. It's just whether or not the question is a good question or not. Let her go.
Charlie Kirk was assassinated in broad daylight, and they immediately deployed their troops to criminalize asking questions.
What are you supposed to take from the everyone? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think the implication was dramatic, and then I think a lot of people reading the tweets would assume that she meant Erica Kirk.
Either Erica Kirk is evil and was in on it, or Candace Owens is an evil.
I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil. It is evil what she's doing right now.
Post Charlie, there was so much unity, so much excitement, so much resurgence in faith and newfound interest in faith, and that now there is discord, so many distractions, and that is just like Satan, who comes to steal, kill, and destroy. He is called the great accuser. He is the sower of discord, the author of confusion.
The reason I haven't waited on things is I'm an eyewitness to events, and they said, don't comment on things because anything you say can mess that up. I don't want to mess up any trial for the person who did this.
That's 1,000% right. But Candace Owens is well within her rights to suggest certain things and all this, and she has the right to free speech and all that. That's fine. She's right to ask questions. I just think it is hurtful and not helpful when you cross a line to strongly suggest somebody's guilty of something for which you have no evidence.
Challenge accepted, Frank Turek. Let's go Max today.
Let's go Max today. Let's go Max today. Because today didn't finish. As I'm sure you already know, today didn't finish. It was the, continuation of the series. And this is what, it's hard for me. I have to keep bringing this up, but you can't tell yet that you're being gaslit? You can't tell yet? All of you Candace fans out there, I need the front screen. You can't tell yet that you are being gaslit by Candace? All this has to be in another series. Oh, please tune in tomorrow. I'm going to reveal something else. I mean, it does not take a rocket scientist to see that this woman is constantly making the stuff up as she goes, moving the goalposts. Check it out. First it was Israel, then it's TPUSA. It's insinuated that it's Erica, but she didn't say it. She just asking questions, right? And now there was a mysterious Egyptian plane. Egyptian planes.
So you have to remember that Charlie landed into Salt Lake City at 9:23 a.m. local time. I suspect that if he had instead landed into Provo, he would have recognized the blue Egyptian plane.
Ladies and gentlemen, two things I'd like to say. First off, I'm sorry again that we have to continue watching this. But anyway, moving of the goalposts is one thing. You see that the lips are a little bit off. It's not 100% synced on this. I apologize about that. But, sometimes when you're so busy telling lies, the lie may leave before the mouth starts moving in the first place. Number two, though, however, is that what you'll see is that there's never any definite thing that's going on. It's mystery after mystery after mystery. And really what this is this is a soap opera. Reality TV ain't reality. And I'm just telling you, for all those, for me, I've been on, reality shows, some that's aired, some that have not aired and whatever. And I can tell you right now, it's fake. I can tell you it's fake. And I can tell you that this individual right now is fake. I don't know what she's like in her personal life. I heard great things about who Candace was when she's not in front of the spotlight. But whatever it is, and maybe this personification of whoever she is or what she's projecting, is completely disgusting. And the reason why this is even worse is because, you could play, there's times in WWF wrestling or WWE, that was WWF when I grew up. Now, where, sometimes, The Rock's the bad guy, or Stone Cold Steve Austin, he's the bad guy, or the good guy, or you had all these different characters, and that was fine. It was just wrestling, you know what I'm saying? We pick up in the next couple of days, we'll see WrestleMania, we'll see, whatever the case is. However, when it comes to this personification and putting on such a show like Candace is right now, it actually leads to real life people being hurt in their actual lives. And that's what makes the person, regardless of who she is behind all of this, completely evil. Completely evil. And it does not matter. Not saying a person's above repenting and all that other stuff. I know everybody loves to say that, oh, she could come back. I'm not dealing with that right now. What we're dealing with right now is the disgusting behavior that we're seeing right now that is actually putting other people's life in danger. With all of this nonsense. Egyptian planes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's finish talking about the Egyptian planes.
Okay. It's not every day that you see an Egyptian military craft. It is now my well-informed opinion that he would have looked at that plane and he would have recognized the blue plane and he would have instantly realized that something was amiss. And now I'm going to explain to you very carefully why I suspect that it is highly likely that Charlie would have recognized that plane, okay? Tail number SUBND, the blue plane. A pregnant mommy sleuth who was locked into this investigation discovered something that me and my team had missed. I consider her, obviously, and all of you to be my decentralized intelligence agents. Anyway, she sent me a rather urgent email, and I'm obviously protecting her identity for reasons that are clear. But I want you to know that this discovery is due entirely to her. She is the person that, in this regard, went max for Charlie when I missed something. Her email stated, in effect, that I was only partially right about the plane tracking Charlie, that she had done an additional 15 hours of research and was able to discern that the person the planes were actually tracking for years was Erica. Not Charlie, but Erica was the one.
Guys, I'm sorry it's so hard. I'm sorry it's so hard. I'm so hard, but we are going to make it through this. We're going to make it through, and we're going to get through this, and we'll get through it together. Egyptian planes were tracking Erica Kirk. I don't even have anything to say about that. I'm just going to repeat what she said. There were Egyptian planes that have been, I don't know however many months, years, whatever she's saying, have been tracking Erica Kirk. Okay.
Being tracked by these planes. And indeed, it turns out that she was correct. She discovered that between 2022 and September of 2025, both of those aircrafts, SUBTT, the yellow plane, and SUBND, the blue plane, showed 68 overlaps with Erica's documented locations, okay? 68 overlaps. I have since been able to add now 73 times that this overlapped, okay? And 29 of those instances also happened to include Charlie. Charlie was also present. And that's what I was stumbling upon when I was looking into this. I was like, why is this plane where Charlie is? The flights were majority clustered within 5 states, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, Delaware, and Utah. And it's a pattern that she believes is statistically not random. I'm telling you, this information has been completely verified.
It's been completely verified. Been completely verified. By who? Who verified it, Candace? Who verified all this information? Who sat there with this log? You're telling, and this is what I'm saying. Crazy people make other crazy people. If she's going to, on her platform, she has given birth to people who would sit 15 hours of their life logging and looking at if there was some correlation between Egyptian flights and Erica Kirk's whereabouts. This is what she's creating, right? And then it's been verified, right? And anything you say, I'm supposed to believe. You can show a spreadsheet, you can do whatever it is, and then I'm supposed to believe this has already been verified. By who? Never mind the fact that we don't even know what this matters or how it matters to Charlie. But why and how is it verified? Egyptian planes fly all the time, right? Was that the only airline That's the other question. Is that the only airline was Egyptian? I mean, you know what I was going to say. You can't make this stuff up, but I think that that's not true, actually.
I am showing you this on a spreadsheet now. These are all the instances in which this plane, all 68 instances that this plane crossed with Erica. And I'm also going to say this includes overseas as well, okay? So my instant question becomes, why didn't Turning Point acknowledge that this plane was familiar to them? When I was taking all of these figurative online bullets, someone could have easily said something, right? That's kind of a repeat thing in this investigation. Josh Hammer lies, I get attacked, Turning Point just stays silent. They know he's lying, but they allow the lie to flow. Alex Clark lies, I get attacked, I'm telling the truth. Turning Point knows it, but they kind of allow this like Catholic thing, lie to flow. And the influencers are allowed to lie. Nobody at Turning Point ever just steps to clarify that I'm onto something or I'm telling the truth about something.
And maybe nobody at Turning Point actually wants to disrupt the investigation of what's going on with Charlie. So nobody wants to engage with you, Candace. I mean, could it not be, I'm just asking, could it not be that those at Turning Point actually just don't want to respond to you, to give it any more light than what it needs to, just in case the jury or anybody else may come across your videos or any of your theories? Could it be that there's a gag order on those who were around, on the company itself? Like, could it not be? You see, and that's what it is. It's sort of like, she gets to say all this and look like, oh, they're just not responding. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's putting her in her place. And she knows that there's a reason why they're not responding and they can't respond to it. Not to mention the fact that they're actually grieving. They're actually still trying to build up Charlie's legacy. And as you and all the other ones are busy trying to tear down Charlie's legacy. It is so, so unfortunate. I have a clip here from Charlie's head of security detail. And I usually don't like to do clips within a clip, but you have to see this. It's a little extensive, but I want to go through this with all of you. Watch it. And see the pain of this man. See the pain of these people for real. And you can tell the difference between something that's authentic and something that's not. Because as Candace would like you to believe, she's mourning. This is what she looks like as she is mourning. It's just hard. Everybody's worried about how, oh, look at how Erica looks. How is she being real or not? And they won't accept the fact that people mourn differently. That people are the way that people deal with challenges. No, it's okay. Because Candace is really mourning, right? That's what's really going on. Check out this clip from the head of Charlie's security detail.
Or attached to any type of foreign entity. It's one of those, it's crap on its best day. You can go back and look at his speeches, and Charlie was an absolute supporter of Israel.
Why wasn't there a sniper on the roof?
We have concerns with rooftops.
Oh, listen to this.
We got a location that we're not keen with.
This is unbelievable.
We know what our responsibility is. We know what our statutory authority is. We know that we can't go up and set up our guys in sniper observer positions. It's not going to be allowed. And so we have some correspondence with the chief of the school. Why he won't stand up like a man and admit this, I don't know. But he's watching a bunch of men lose their careers. And he's okay with it. Mm. On Monday before, this correspondence went to Chief Long. Hello, Chief Long. We received this message today from the student group. There is a student roof access pretty close to where CK will be set up at the Utah Valley. The Sorensen Center has a couple of staircases that go up to walkways on the roofs. And so he comes back and he says, you want access to the roof. And came back and said, I was told students have access above us. If this is true, it would be nice to either have it controlled access or allow one of my guys to be there as well, if possible.
Now you see this from what we're seeing. This is how things really happen. right? It doesn't have to be always some crazy thing. As he said at the beginning of this clip, we don't have to think it was some foreign entity. All we have to look at this is say, wait, something went wrong. There was some negligence. Same thing that happened when it came to Donald Trump and Buckler, right? And thank God President Trump didn't die. But there was negligence, obviously here, from the head of the school or whoever the police staff or whatever who sent this message, right? Says, oh, we got it covered. Did they cover it? No, they did not cover it, right? So these things can easily be explainable by people who are sensible, who could give over what actually happened, where the failures and where the mistakes actually happen. I'm not against conspiracy when it calls for conspiracy, but for you to make up things and to just pull them out of a hat, that's the biggest difference.
He comes back, and his last correspondence was, I got you covered. What else am I to do? When a command level person from an accredited police department says, I've got this area.
Jeez. Have you been in who was that?
That was the chief of police for the UVU police department. We've called him. He's never called us back.
Holy sh... Does he have a name?
Chief Long.
So literally all they had to do is post anybody at that stairwell.
Stairwell, roof.
Or put a drone up. Or
let us.
Let you do your job.
Mm-hmm. Or let us. You've seen some of the idiocy out there.
Now, even this leaves room for conspiracy. But it's a conspiracy that would make sense. Why did the police chief say, oh, they need roof access, all this other stuff, and then nobody actually went up there? Because one person being at the stairway could have prevented that. But out of all the investigations we're left with from Candace that there were Egyptian planes flying over UVU. I mean, are you guys not getting this yet? Are you guys not getting this yet? How ridiculous this rhetoric coming from her is.
Palm gun, exploding microphone, hand signals. It's like, it doesn't even have to be true, and it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And so you're just using that First Amendment as a sword and not a shield.
When the shot was taken, what did you see? What did you hear?
I heard the gunfire, and then I don't know if you've heard this, but I heard that bullet slap him. And so,
I didn't know
so
that.
you hear two sounds actually. And so I jumped down on top of Charlie to cover him because where we're at, it's concealment at best. And so I initially dove down on top of him.
Which is first aid, by the way.
Was on him almost face to face. And then when I was doing that, I went down, I could see the wound. And so I immediately shoved my hand into the wound to stop the bleeding.
First aid.
Just trying to find the pressure. And it
right
was
away.
Coming out still. And I'm on top of him, like close. And it was still coming out enough that it squirted through my fingers and I could taste it on my lips.
What do you mean there was no blood?
And so I was like, man, this is a bad wound, right? And so I was just pushing that, and I don't know at that time. I know when you look at the clock, I was on him within 5 seconds and had my hands in him.
Let me tell you something. That's first aid. All this bull about nobody gave him first aid.
So as you can see from this, there is so much conspiracies that Candace, and what's likely to be what happened, is negligence and failure from the local police and from the school and everything like that, as opposed to Egyptian planes, foreign governments, foreign entities. It's an inside job. Don't allow yourself to continue to be lied to. Don't allow it. We are in a time right now where it's so sensitive because we are getting closer and closer and closer to the awesome and final day, that the lies are going to continue to keep coming. They're going to keep flooding us over and over and over again. So a person has to be steadfast. That means making sure that you have a relationship with God, a thriving, real relationship with God, standing firm in that, knowing what the truth is, being able to have discernment and decipher between that which is good and that which is evil. My name is Nissim Black. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, leave a comment, and remember always to serve God or to live trying. I'm out. I just want to let you know that we have launched Nissim Black Store. All you have to do is go online, order yourself one of these amazing mugs, God is King, with a matching t-shirt. We have a whole plethora of different shirts that are all about representing God wherever you go. As believers in the one true God of Israel, it is our duty not to hide, not to back down, not to shy away from expressing our faith wherever it is that we go. If you want to go and walk righteously before your God with a nice t-shirt, with a nice sweater, with a mug that's reminding us constantly that God is here with us, go to nissimblack.store and make sure you get yourself some merch. It really helps support this channel and everything that we're doing and everything that we plan to do. And trust me, you don't want to miss it.